I don't have any transferable skills. My resume is so focused on legal that I don't know how to make employers see that I could do anything else. I've been doing this so long, I'm not qualified for anything else. I don't know why anyone outside the law would hire me. My skill set is so specific. I hear this and more from clients all the time, and it's simply not true. Today, I'm sharing how to revise your resume to gear it towards non-legal jobs. I'm Sarah Cottrell. I practiced law for 10 years, and now I help unhappy lawyers ditch their soul-sucking jobs. The first thing that you want to do when revising your resume for a non-legal job is to learn how to describe the things that you've done and your skills without using legal jargon. For many of us, the biggest hurdle to revising our resume for a non-legal job is that we're so steeped in the legal bubble that we don't realize that there is more than one way to describe the tasks that we've performed or the skills that we've developed. For example, instead of drafted and successfully argued a motion for summary judgment, you could say persuaded key stakeholder to adopt client-favoring position, resulting in elimination of X dollars of risk exposure. Instead of managed outside doc review team, you could say led cross-functional team in evaluating key information sources to identify essential project information. Instead of member of summer associate committee, you could say selected to participate in key recruiting function responsible for facilitating workplace integration for new hire candidates. Obviously, you don't want to say anything that isn't true because integrity is everything. But getting outside the legal jargon mindset will go a really long way in helping you to transform your resume. This is why I have everyone who goes through my program go through a transferable skills audit so that they can create a menu of transferable skills that's free from legal jargon and can be used to craft any type of non-legal job resume. The other important thing to do when you're wanting to revise your resume is to look at the actual job listing and see what keywords or terms they use that you can work into your own resume. So I'm about to put on screen a job listing for a position with Teach for America, which I found on LinkedIn. And I'm gonna walk you through that listing the way that I would with a client to show you how I would use terms in the listing in order to help them put together the kind of resume that they need for that position. Okay, so here we have this job posting from Teach for America for the Director of Recruitment Innovation. And if I were working with you, if you were my client, what I would have you do is I would have you scroll down and look at how the role is described. And when you look at how the role is described, you can see it says things like set strategy, execute against it. It talks about extracting learning, identifying implications, working with a team. So those are all things that most lawyers are doing in their jobs. You basically just need to look at what the job listing is describing and figure out how you can use the terms that it uses. For example, shifting in and out of specialist roles. So if you see something like that, you want to be thinking, in what ways have I moved into different roles or even had to learn about, for example, different areas of the law or different business types? So then you're going to scroll down and look at the other things that the job listing has. And for example, here they list specific things about the person that they're looking for. Deeply committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and anti-racist leadership, a spirit of generosity, being nimble and adventurous. Again, these are all sort of descriptors that you could craft pieces of the resume that you would be submitting with ways in which you have demonstrated these characteristics either in your current role or even in previous roles. Being a self-starter, being someone who thrives in gray spaces, that's certainly something many lawyers have to do in terms of, for example, areas where the law is not particularly clear and where you're having to make judgment calls. That is definitely something that comes up. And as I go through here, you can just see there are lots of other terms that you could use, accurate terms that describe things that you've done. For example, skilled in reasoning and strategic thinking. That is obviously something that every lawyer could talk about and could include in their resume. Knowing how to use discipline and rigor, understanding when to stop, pause, adjust, scale, or start new strategies. Some of these literally could be describing a job as a lawyer. So that's how you revise a resume to gear it towards a non-legal job. And if you're like, great, now all I need to know is what non-legal job I should be trying to target, then I recommend you watch this video all about the 4 things you need to know about identifying an alternative career, or the second video, which is all about what to do first when you know that you want to leave your legal job. I hope this video is helpful on your journey to trade lawyering for a better life.